Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at 49 in Market, I have the most beautiful vintage collection. We're calling this Vintage Toddler Time. This is a 6x8 collection pack, absolutely gorgeous, with all these fantastic papers. It's got kind of a like Dick and Jane theme, but also beautiful botanicals and fantastic laser cuts. I can't wait to show you these. And together, you guys, they make cards like this one. And I can't wait to give this one away. So stick around. You'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, let's take a flip through. So this is a 6x8 pack, includes 27 sheets, 3 each, of 9 different double-sided papers, plus 2 extra patterns on the inside front cover sheets. Okay, so we're starting off with sort of this really cool solid orange color, and then you're getting 3 sheets. And as I said, this is sort of a, it's kind of a little bit of a nursery rhyme. It's got, you know, like Jack ran up the hill, but it's also just childhood reading, and with the beautiful lace, the music, it's absolutely gorgeous. And then on the other side, these really fun, this is kind of a bluish gray color polka dot. And then once again, I get 3 sheets of this one. Love the little doily, love the little alphabet flashcard. You've got the little, we were trying to remember, Dick, Jane, Spot, and then we couldn't remember the cat's name. Was it Cleo? Let me know in the comments below if you can remember the cat's name. And these beautiful kind of starbursts with peach and white, and then there's kind of peeking through, there's a little text print like from the book. And then we've got more in this beautiful salmon color, and then great blue plaid, and this really beautiful sort of arched garlandy kind of thing. We're going up this way and this way with botanicals and butterflies, beautiful green. This is a really nice minty green and white floral print. And then this beautiful blue. Got some collage elements here with the botanicals, the print from the book, also the little airplanes and the kids here. And then this gorgeous navy blue that has some like crinkling, wrinkling pattern on it, and then also just a little bit of text showing through. I love the dog and cat paper. That is so cute. And then on the other side, this really great little orange with little white florals. And then kind of a newspaper print here going on with all these like kids' toys. I love that. And then this yellow diamond print. And then we've got this one, which is just such a nice place to drop some of the laser art here. But you've also got sort of this doily image here, really beautiful. And then this blue linen. Okay, and then 3 of these where, once again, nice place to just drop something right there. You've got some of the book pages here, some doily lace here, and on the back, once again, that starburst, but in navy blue and white. And then this is the back cover, okay? So I'm gonna set these 2 aside because I actually use those quite a bit. All right, let's take a look at this gorgeous laser cut. On the inside, okay, we've got all these cutouts, the envelope, more of the newsprint here, and then lots of cutouts here. I love how they added in the little biplane toys and things like that. But you can see so many botanicals, right? And then you've got little sheep and dogs and cats and butterflies. And you've got the kids. I love the one with the riding the scooter. And then another one here. We've got lots of these where it's the big envelope. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And it kind of coordinates with this large envelope as well. Really, really beautiful. Look at these tall botanicals. And the laser cut quality on these is just, I think, the best. I've never seen one that's as good. There's no white edges around it. They pop off really beautifully. And they're very delicate, but very sturdy. Somehow very sturdy. It's amazing. Love how they do that. And they're made of just like this lightweight chipboard. All right, so let's talk about this one. Let's talk about the giveaway card. This is a 6.5 by 5 inch card. And what I started out with was this orange paper that was the cover, okay, and I just cut it down to, remember this is 6 inches wide, so I wanted to just go with that border and leave a little bit along the top there. And then I went with that newsprint paper. Let me see if I can find these out, just taking so much time. Here we go. And this one I just really loved. So once again, just cut this down so there was a nice border, inking all the edges with cocoa bean and my little applicator tool. Use your favorite applicator tool by all means. And then I wanted to use this dog and cat paper. So I just cut a little strip that's about 1.5 inches wide and then matted the long edges with just a scrap that I had of this piece right here. So instead of using a big piece, I just cut little tiny thin strips and just matted that back edge after inking it, of course, and then glued that, about 1 inch from the top. And then here is one of these images from the laser cut. This one right here. And what's great about this is this little window right here just pops right out, and then it allows you to glue behind it some paper. So I glued the orange paper behind it and then added happy birthday Dazzle stickers. And this is from our collection of, there's 96 different words on here, and there's all these different colors and holographic. I use the black ones, okay? And use my little pokey tool. That's always nice to peel those off. You just kind of pry them up and then lift them off, and it's very nice for placing them. And then I foam taped this entire piece, and then we've got the little dogs here and this one here, and I just foam taped them to kind of glue right in. So this one has a lot of dimension on it. And this is our giveaway card. So how does that work? We're trying to promote our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page, we ask that you hop on over to our Paper Wishes YouTube channel, and you could go to YouTube, you could just search Paper Wishes, or if you blow up this picture full screen, there should be a YouTube icon down there. If you're already watching us on YouTube, we ask that you subscribe and that you give this video a like or a thumbs up and leave us a comment about it. And then after about a week, we're going to reply to one of the comments by saying, congratulations, YouTube username blank. That's how we identify the winner, is by their YouTube username. So you do have to know your YouTube username. And then we give you instructions on how to claim the card. And this information is also written at the very end of this video, so you can pause the video and read those instructions. It's also a good idea to hit the notification bell if you're watching us on YouTube as well, because you'll know when we're trying to get a hold of you that you won, and also when we launch new videos. All right, so definitely participate in that. We would love to give this away. We give cards away on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays videos. Whew, too fast. All right, so this one, you guys, this one was a fun one. This is a Slimline tent fold card. So the fold is usually at the top. It gives you lots of space. But this time I folded it a little different. I'm going to show you. So I went ahead and I took the folds. I should have grabbed one to bring it. And I opened it up and I folded the top and bottom to the center. And you're going to see that in a minute. And then I took the adorable paper from this one, and I cut this into a little panel to go on the front here, and then this one to go on the front there. Let me show you how this works. Open this up, okay, and then you lift this, because I glued another little matted rectangle of paper there. We're going to open this up, and we've got panels. So here's our first little panel taken from the corner, some of that cute paper. This panel right here needs to be that full 8-inch tall piece, because the fold, the original fold to that card is right here. And if you don't have it, it kind of collapses in on itself. So you want a full sheet right there to keep that nice and firm. And then you've got this piece down here. And I love that you've got the little A for airplane. This is one of the laser cut pieces. This is, of course, beautiful botanical from the laser cut. And then at the top here, I've added hello there, missing our time together, and hugs. And that is from the black We're Together collection of Dazzle stickers. And just added those on there, and then added a little bit of ribbon. Now the ribbon came from our gingham ribbon collection right here. And what I did was I just took 2 lengths. They're about 6 to 8 inches long, and then I just tucked them under this paper and glued that down. And it's helpful if you put a little bit of glue on the paper as well as the ribbon, and then put this topper paper, trim that down, put that right over the top of it. That keeps it, and they're very firm. They're not going to fall apart. You could put one continuous length, but you know, I saved a little bit of ribbon if I just cut it in 2 pieces. Here's another little piece of that same ribbon. I tied a little bow and glued that right there. So once again, I just took this card, there's the fold, and then I just folded these ends to the center. And then I went ahead and I scored them, and then I folded them right there. And I covered these 2 panels. I covered these 2 panels. This is that long piece right there. And then on the very front, I just took a little scrap of that starburst paper, that peach one that I was showing you, and then a little bit of the polka dot paper. I inked the edges of everything using Prussian blue ink and a little applicator tool to put it on that softened that ink edge up a little bit. And then, of course, we've got these cute little orange flowers, and those are also from the laser cut, and the little high is from the little greeting collection. So, all right, the next card I have to show you. All right, this one is a 5 by 7 inch, also a tentfold card. And for this one, what paper did I use for this one? I have to think about that. Let's see. I know it was one with the writing. I think I used like the back of one of these. There we go. So this is the one that I used. Just this little corner right here, and then I did ink the edges with a little bit of khaki ink, a little green edge around that, which I did forget to grab, and then inked the edges of the card with cocoa bean, a little bit right there, and then I glued this one to the card center. And this particular 5 by 7 is the one with the stitches on it. It comes with a little die cut stitch right in there. Okay, and so then when I was done with that, I used this one, and I actually tore it into a rectangle. So this was the hardest part, was just taking this little bit and just doing a really small tear line there, and then here and up here. Inked the edges of that with the cocoa bean and foam taped that to the card front using our giant wheel of foam tape. Okay, and then before I stuck it down, I actually took the baker's twine, which is green and white, and I took that from our green ribbon collection, and I wrapped it twice around this piece and then tied it, and then also tied the ends with little knots so it wouldn't come unraveled. Tied that with a little bit of a bow, and then I stuck it down. Okay, so this is secured by that foam tape. Then I got to add botanicals. So I added these pieces right here. Let me show you on this. Here they are. These little pieces are so cool. I added those here, 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 and then the single flower blossoms here and here and here. And then did a little bit of gingham ribbon right at the top, just made a little bow and glued that on. And then the sending smiles are just one of my favorite greetings, and they come in all these different colors, and I found that black went best with this collection because it really pops on there, and all the black outlines on everything made it just coordinate, I think, a little bit better. And then these little airplanes, of course, those are also the laser cut pieces. So fun one to put together. All right, the last thing I have to show you, you guys, is actually going to put together a card. So let me grab all my stuff here. I have all of these little wonderful laser cut pieces. Look how beautiful. All right, and I have more. And these little butterflies. All right, and then I also used some of this beautiful lace borders. This is fancy, white fancy border dazzle stickers. This might be my favorite border dazzle. All right, so for this one, you guys, I took some of the navy blue paper and I cut it down. This is a Slimline card, okay? And this is 3.5 by 8.5 inches. So I started by just putting that 8-inch tall paper and cut that down so it had a nice white border. Then I took a little bit of that fancy border dazzle and I put it along the top. And then right here, we've got some what are they? More Greetings dazzle stickers. And they come in a collection like this. And they're these really nice, fine, sort of loopy, cursive greetings. And once again, using the little picker to pick them up. If you're interested in more uses for dazzle stickers and how to remove them from the sheet, if you go to our homepage at paperwishes.com and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a series of videos marked 101. And if you click on the Dazzle 101, it gives you all kinds of tips on how to use these. All right, so what we're gonna do with these is we're gonna do a little botanical collection here, and I'm going to be using, because these are so fine and intricate, I'm going to be using the glue press, precision glue press glue gun, which I love. You do have to like unscrew it here. Come on, come on. There we go. It has this little needle in the cap that keeps this from clogging, which is so nice. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is just sort of lay this out like this. But what I want to do is, because the tallest ones are like this tall, I want to reach them up a little bit farther. So we're going to kind of do this. We're going to kind of hide the bottom of the stem behind the other stems. So once I've got that down like that, I know approximately where this is going to go. And when you're gluing these down, you're not trying to get it all glued. You just want to like touch the ends of little pieces. Oops, and then I got too much on these, so I'm just going to take some off my finger. And we're going to do this. And that's going to be really nice and secure. Then I'm just going to wipe this off one of the bigger blossoms. And then right this, just a little bit there. Just like that. And then we're just going to kind of put this over the end of that stem. Oops, I just broke one. All right, so now we're going to put this back together. Put a little glue on that. You can stick it right back on there. All right, and then same thing with this one. Trying to get all the pieces that are kind of sticking out the most. So now we've got kind of our white background of flowers. And then we're going to start with these pieces right here, and they're going to go at the bottom. Just like that. Kind of covering all of the stems that we have going on. Just like this. And now we've got these beautiful butterflies. Those can just kind of go off the edge even a little bit. And then this one can actually land on one. So cute. Okay, there you go. That's how you just sort of create sort of a little mixed bouquet, get some height on things, tucking things away, and then putting glue on the back of these. All right, you guys, we have a fantastic money saver on this collection. So true. They are so versatile. As you can see, you can kind of go with like the little kid and the vintage theme, or you can absolutely play up the pet theme on this or the botanical theme. Do something different with the tentfold cards. I had a lot of fun playing with this collection, so I definitely think you should check it out. The money saver's right there on the right-hand side, and all the items are listed down below the video as well. And if you click on each color photo of the card, that'll give you a more detailed supply list of what was used on each card, color ink or a particular dazzle sticker collection. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then you just have to look below the video in the description box for a link that'll take you to this paperwishes.com page for our webisodes. And hey, while you're there on YouTube, it would be great if you would subscribe. YouTube tells us that over half of you are not subscribed, and it would really be a huge favor for this free content and would help our little business here in Oregon out so much. Thanks for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.